Okay, welcome back. Let's model a character. We're going to model a hippopotamus because I think it'd be fun to make a stylized hippopotamus. So let's subdivide our default cube by a bunch. I'm going to do 5, and then let's scale that down. Okay, and we're just going to model out the head. Now, I asked AI to make me a stylized character model of a hippopotamus in a suit, and this is what it came up with. So you can use this. Anyone can use this because AI images can't be copywritten. So go right ahead. I added a mirror modifier right there. I did that in the properties panel, and I'm just going to stretch this mesh out to conform to the shape and size of our head and neck and that bulge. This, I think I'm going to make him a newscaster. I think I'm going to do I might have him be like an anchor man, but a fun little hippopotamus. And just pulling the brows out. And I'm using this up here, which lets us stretch part of the mesh or model instead of just a vertex or an edge or a face. It's really a very valuable tool. Okay, and then I'm just pulling the cheeks out, pull the brows back, and this I'm going to assume some knowledge of Blender, and I'm more just going to kind of talk you through the process as opposed to narrate it while I'm doing it. Just add a couple of loop cuts right there with Control R. And then I'm going to smooth those out with loop tools. I love loop tools. Loop tools is a valuable tool. It's an add-on. It's free. And if you don't have it, get it. And you can see I had some sharp edges right there, and I just smoothed them out, hitting the smooth button. Okay. Let's get a couple loop cuts around the brow area, the brow and the eye and the brow. And let's just I'm just hitting double G twice. Slides a vertex along an edge to I'm just creating the shape of my eye. And then again, you can, if the whole edge loop is sharp, just select all of it and then go to your loop tools and click smooth. Okay. Then again, so that proportional editing tool is vital. I love it. Some people don't like it. I use it all the time. And then right here, I just inset with I. And then I X'd it all out. I'm deleting that to create the eye socket, okay? And then take the geometry that we do have and line it up to your face. Use your front view and your side view as reference to kind of create the shape and structure of the eye socket of your model. And I use the hippo here because it's just a fun generic stylized thing. You guys, use whatever you want. If you have your own character, that's awesome. Use that. If you want to do a lion or a tiger or a bear, oh my God! That's cool too. You go right ahead. All right, if you want to make the hippo, that's awesome. And so let's get this nostril going. And I'm just going to inset again with I, extrude it in. You can grab it back. I think I scale it down a little bit, and there you go. Nice little nostril pocket. Now I think we need to separate the mouth. Okay, and we'll make that top jowl. We'll pull the cheeks back, and this is just cosmetic touch-up, and you can see how easy it is. In just a few minutes, we've got the shape of a character set, and this is the beauty of doing stylized work in general, right? And to make this ear, it's just extrude, add a couple of loop cuts, scale it out, and then pull it to the shape and size of your ear. And then again, we can smooth that out with loop tools. We're going to inset it. We're going to extrude it, maybe inset it again, and bada bing. There you go. Nice little ear. Okay. So very quickly, we've got the trimmings of our hippopotami. Now let's grab these lower jowls, the submandibular. And again, we got proportional editing, so you can just select a little part and then drag it. But if proportional editing is turned on, you can use that middle mouse wheel to scroll its level of influence. Okay. Now you can see I've got some jagged geometry here, and I'm just gonna delete all of that, and then I'm gonna separate these vertices with V, the V tool, or excuse me, the V key separates vertices. And now I'm just going to just drag the geometry to kind of mirror the outline of the lip, the separation between the top jaw and the bottom jaw. And, you know, you might have to add some new geometry. You might have to make sure that your quads are in good shape, and that's okay. This is just stuff that we have to do, right? It's just kind of, it's part of the process. Okay. We can add another loop cut in the back to add some geometry, get some geometry going there. Make sure there aren't going to be any hard or wild creases. And then let's build the inside of the mouth. Okay. With just a light extrusion, just a little bit, and then I'm going to go inside the mouth here and pull out that geometry just to kind of create the curl of the lip. Okay, and we'll start building out these lips. Okay, we can make this very smooth by adding a subdivision surface modifier over in the properties panel, and now it's even smoother, which is nice and fun. Okay, now let's add the eyeball. So we'll Shift A and add a sphere, and then scale it down and rotate it so that the poles are looking in the direction of the eye. All right. Then let's add a mirror modifier and have the mirror object be the head of the hippo. So now the left eye should automatically mirror to where it needs to be on the right eye. Okay. And then let's, again, with proportional editing turned on, let's grab our brow and shape it around the contour of the eye to create this is why we made that eye socket earlier. And if you have to add a couple of more loop cuts to create that brow line, that's no problem. Just Control R, make your loop cuts, and it's all this is right here is kind of a push and pull to get these shapes where we want them to be and to look how we need them to look. Okay, I'm going to scale in on the x-axis to make it a little thinner. That was, you know, my eye is ovular. Yours might be circle or circular, and that's fine. And then once you have that, take the eye socket back a little bit, and we should be good to go. Now what I want to do is I want to create the hole where our neck is going to be. All right, so I'm just going to eliminate a bunch of faces, and then I'm going to select the edge loop, and then I'm going to go into loop tools and smooth that out. You can also use the smooth tool down here. A lot of different options. Okay. And we're going to start to build out the neck of our hippo. And this is just simple scale and extrusion. All right. I think before we start the body, let's get this mouth taken care of a little bit. So we're going to start with the mouth, and we're going to take that inside track of the mouth that we extruded earlier, and we're just going to grab it in a little bit, and then take the bottom track and grab them down on the z-axis and the top track and bring them up on the z-axis to create the opening for the space in which the mouth will exist. And you're probably going to have to create a little bit more geometry, and that's okay. And then obviously, you know, make sure you take care of your quads. No errant quads. And all that is, just hit F to make a new face. And then grab the top part of, like the roof of the mouth, grab that up. And the tongue area, grab that down. Okay. And then obviously the back part of the mouth, you can pull that back, which leads to the throat, the trach, and all that noise. And if you want to see the inside of the head, like I have right here, just hide the mirror, right? And you'll be able to see the inside part of the face. It's really helpful when you're building the inside part of anything. And you can see I'm just taking the back part of the mouth and just extruding it back. And we're going to create that throat. You know, you do it a couple more times, and then you don't have to take it all the way down, obviously. Now let's extrude some of the faces on the bottom out and scale those down, and we'll make our tongue. And then you remember, you got to make sure that you delete the side faces, because once the mirror comes back on, it's going to need to, you know, the other half of the tongue is going to need to show. Okay. Now let's get some big teeth going, because hippos have some fun big teeth. We can just, you know, this is just I'm using the bevel tool right here. Simple as that. You can right click to shade it smooth, create a nice little angle, and then boom, there's that right bottom tooth. Add a mirror modifier, and next thing you know, Bob's your uncle. And there we go. We got some fun little bottom teeth. Save your work. So now let's hide the head and make the body. And we'll use the neck portion. You can separate that with P, and this is just a simple extrusion down. And I'm using my front view as a reference right now. And then the side view will shape it out momentarily. And then once you get down to the waist, let's do the groin area. Just do that separately, and then connect the two pieces to create that that pelvic bowl that all upright walking primate mammals have, or anthropomorphized hippos in this example. Then we're going to take that edge loop out, smooth it out with our loop tools, extrude it, scale. This is just simple scale, extrude. We're pulling it out and pushing it and really just kind of working our model. The kneecaps are actually kind of important. So let's take these 5 or 6 faces and scale them in, extrude them, and then scale them in and grab them out. And what we're going to do to make these kneecaps so that they're able to bend is really kind of important. So watch what I'm doing right here. Select these 4 verts and then merge at last. Okay. Now we've created triangles. Select these 2 triangles and dissolve them. Okay. Dissolve the edges. And then we're going to do that again. We're going to grab those faces, extrude them out, scale them down, smooth it out, and then select the 4 faces. Merge at last, select 1, 2, 3, 4, merge at last. We've created triangles, select the edges, and dissolve the edges. So now when your legs bend, if we have this guy run, there's not going to be wonky geometry. We've created the geometry to be able to deal with a bend of some kind. Okay. So now let's take these 8 faces off the shoulder. Use loop tools to make that a circle. And then just get rid of them. Select the edge loop and extrude it out. Okay. Loop tools, guys, I'm telling you, loop tools are your best friend. They're not your best friends, but they're a good friend, or at the very least, a casual acquaintance. Okay. Let's add a circle, extrude it out. We're going to make some fingers. Okay. We'll select these faces, extrude and scale them on the Z, and then let's merge these verts together, and we're going to make the tip of our finger. Okay. You can hide everything just so it's not a distraction. And then again, we have some triangles. We don't want those, so let's dissolve these edges. So we have quads. We've got quad formation. And then let's add a couple more loop cuts with Control R around the joints so our joints can bend. Select these 2 faces, inset in, grab down. There's a little fingernail happening. We can right click, add a subdivision surface modifier, right click again to shade smooth, and then let's bevel these out. And scroll your middle mouse click up 1 time to create that kind of cross in the middle, that extra geometry. And you can see the same thing with the kneecaps we have on our fingers. So we've got those triangles right there. Okay. So let's select those and then merge at last. And then let's select 1, 2, merge at last, 1, 2, merge at last, 1, 2, merge at last. Then select the edges in all these triangles and dissolve the edges. Okay. And now we have quad formation. So you can pull that fingernail up if you want to. That's fine. We have a big horse knuckle going. And then I'm going to add a couple of loop cuts around the knuckles to be able to deal with the bend. So add Control R loop cuts around the front and back of each finger section, and then go underneath the finger. Select a couple of the edges and drag it up to kind of create the form of the finger. Okay, and this is obviously a very fat finger because he's a hippopotamus. If you're doing a human, a pretty little anime character, she's probably going to have slim fingers. But my character's a hippo. Okay, so he's a fatty boobalatti, and he's going to have some sausage fingers, and that is the way it is. Just Shift D a few times, and there you go. We're creating our fingers. Now those are all individual objects, so I select all 3 of them, hit Control J, and I have J joined the objects. And now now it's just one object, and now we need to deal with the webbing between the fingers. So I'm going to take these edges and just click F to make the face. Okay. Now you should be able to select all of that as one large edge loop. And when you scale it, the whole thing scales out. Okay. and then you can extrude that out. We'll start to, that you'll make the knuckle line. That's essentially what you punch someone with. And then you can extrude out. We'll make the top of the palm. Okay, we can scale that out. Just use your reference. And again, this is to taste, you guys. It's a hippo character, so he's gonna have some fat hands with some sausage fingers, and that's just the way it is. Okay, and he's comfortable with that. He loves his body. He's body positive. All right, then same thing here. We need to merge some vertices because we have way too many vertices. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Merge at center. Okay, right here, merge at center. And then again, 1, 2, 3, because we need the geometry on the hand to line up to the geometry on the arm. Okay? So we have to make sure that the number of verts match. Now, what we've done there is we've created a handful of triangles. Okay, we don't like that. Triangles are the enemy. We love quads. So let's go and select the edges for each one of the triangles that we created. Okay? And then right click and dissolve the edges. And now we have quads. Okay? Nice little quad structure right there. And way more importantly, now we have the correct number of vertices on our hand as are on our arm. You can select a handful of any finger and then duplicate it and then separate it with P and then grab it to make the thumb. Okay, so select any portion of any one of your fingers. And also you can notice he's got 3 fingers and a thumb here. I'm doing the Simpsons method of animation. For some reason, animations never really mess around with 5 fingers when stuff is anthropomorphized, and I think I'm just going to do that too. I could give him 5 fingers, but why? Right? Where's the fun in that? I'm going to scale this a little wider on the X because some people have fat thumbs. Certainly, most hippopotami have fat thumbs, so we're going to make him have a fat thumb. We'll have the thumb selected. We're going to shift click the hand and we'll control J to join the two. Now they're one object. We need to knock out that face right there on the side of the palm and then select the edge, extrude on the edge with E, and then select one edge on the thumb, one edge on the palm, and hit F, and you'll see that you'll start to build out the faces that connect the hand to the palm. Okay, so once you have that, unhide or show your body, and then scale the hand down so that it's the size you want that has the ability to connect to your hand. Then select the hand and the body, Control J to join them, and then same thing we did with the fingers in the palm. One edge on the wrist and one edge on the forearm, and click F, and that'll make a face, and then select one of the edges and just hit F. Just keep hitting F until it connects all the way around. And there you go. We made a hand, we made fingers, we connected them, we connected the hand to the body. And now let's go down to this ankle and make the shoes. I think we're going to start with a foot, okay? Let's make the boot area. All right, I'm just going to select that back heel and extrude that down. And then I'm going to select the rest of the foot and extrude that out. Then I'm going to take just the toes area and extrude that down. And then you're going to need to connect the two. It's enough to suggest that this thing is a foot, okay? I'm going to scale this on the Z at 0 to make it flat. Select edges on both sides and connect the remaining space. And just hit F again and again and again. And you should be able to close up the foot. And there we go. Okay, nice and easy. Now let's reveal the head. Okay, let's shade the body smooth with a right click. Okay. If you have any kind of wonky geometry, make sure you might want to recalculate normals or flip them. And then once you have everything how it needs to look, select the head and the body, join the two together, and then the same thing we did with the hand, select edge loops on the head and neck and just hit F, 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 F until you have successfully joined the two and connected them. And there we go. Nice and easy. Lemon squeezy. Oh, you know what? Let's add a tail for good measure, just because hippos have tails. It's how they spin and throw all their poops. Add Control R, add a couple of loop cuts, curve that down, and there you go. So in the next one, we'll build a suit and we'll texture. But as it stands, well done. Save your work, and we'll see you in the next one.